Makia Rai. This time I'll be bringing you a show from Asukayama Park in Tokyo's Kita Ward. It's a park that draws many visitors and is also known as one of the top spots in the city to see Sakura cherry blossoms in the spring. But even more, this is where industrialist Ei-ichi Shibusawa, who was chosen as the face of the new 10,000 yen bill, had his home and spent the later years of his life. Today, it's been generating interest as a kind of theme park of Ei-ichi Shibusawa.
Ei-ichi Shibusawa was an industrialist in the late 19th century to the early 20th century. During his lifetime, he was involved with about 500 companies and is known as the father of Japanese capitalism. The park has an archive of materials and buildings related to Shibusawa. We first visit the Shibusawa Memorial Museum.
I'm with Koichi Kuwabara, the director of the Shibusawa Memorial Museum.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Would you tell me a bit about this facility?
This museum was built in 1982 on the former grounds of Ei-ichi Shibusawa's residence.
What kinds of things are kept here?
We display materials related to the life of Ei-ichi Shibusawa, as well as his achievements and philosophy.
Eiichi Shibusawa died at the age of 91. The museum has exhibits tracing his life from a young age, and through rare documents and materials, visitors can learn about his ideas at the time. This is a picture of him in his 70s when he visited New York. He went to attend an expo in the United States and subsequently traveled across the country.
I understand Ei-ichi was also acquainted with Yukichi Fukuzawa, who was on the previous 10,000 yen bill.
This document shows an exchange between Yukichi Fukuzawa and Ei-ichi Shibusawa. It's a letter from Yukichi to Ei-ichi Shibusawa in which he calls Shibusawa his older brother.
It's said that Shibusawa held Yukichi Fukuzawa's principles and ideas in high regard. Shibusawa was also acquainted with Shiba Saburo Kitasato, who's the face of the new 1,000 yen bill. The pair established the Japan Anti-Tuberculosis Association to prevent and eradicate tuberculosis. Umeko Tsuda, who is the face of the new 5,000 yen bill, was another of Ei-ichi Shibusawa's acquaintances.
You can hear Ei-ichi Shibusawa's actual voice here.
That's impressive.
Push the play button.
Can I? I'm thinking he had a low voice.
A low voice?
Because he seems to have a stout build.
You're right. Does he sound like how you thought he would?
His voice has a higher pitch than I imagined and quite loud, as if he's giving a speech.
You're right. This is actually a speech he gave on the radio when he was 88 years old.
In the park, buildings that Ei-ichi Shibusawa actually used have also been preserved. This is a Western-style tea room called Bunko that was gifted to him in 1917 for his 77th birthday. A key feature is the fusion of Japanese and Western design, and the furniture, such as the tables and chairs, are intricately designed.
The room has a great atmosphere. When would he use this room?
It was a lounge. So, for example, when guests came from overseas, Ei-ichi would meet them here, and he would also hold gatherings with his pupils.
This building has designs of animals and plants throughout. Even the light has animal figures.
This is a crane.
It is.
This is standing, but there's also a flying crane.
What? This is also a crane?
Cranes represent long life.
What about it is a crane?
It's a bit hard to tell, But this is the beak, and this is the head. And it's spreading its wings as if flying.
Right above the fireplace is the character for long life, depicted with tiles to commemorate his 77th birthday. Cranes and the character for long life are found throughout. Interestingly, he lived to the ripe old age of 91. Our final stop is this building, which was presented to him on his promotion to the rank of Viscount at the age of 80.
Wow, this is another wonderful-looking building, even from the outside.
This is called Seien Bunko.
Seien Bunko.
Seien is what you'd call a pen name that he used when he was younger in the late 19th century.
Going inside, the first thing we see is...
It says Ei-ichi Shibusawa's today. What does that mean?
This is to show what Ei-ichi's daily schedule looked like.
You know that?
We have Ei-ichi Shibusawa's schedule book. So we show what he had planned from day to day. They say people would line up at this Asukayama residence from the morning just to meet with Ei-ichi.
So he was popular from back then.
After meeting them, he would go to work. That was his daily routine.
Seeing this, I really get the sense of how he lived his life.
When you see his schedule, you can understand how Ei-ichi loved being with and meeting people. You really get a sense of his character from his schedule book.
It's like a peek into his life.
Ei-ichi Shibusawa was involved with about 500 companies throughout his lifetime. Asukayama Park, where he spent his later years, remains a place where visitors can continue learning about his philosophy and principles.